We're good?
Yeah, my bad.
No, no,
That
you're
was my fault.
all good. No worries. All right, let's start over here. So, first of all, everybody, we got Kihei Clark here. Just want to introduce you. We want to get to obviously know who you are, where you're playing currently, what year you in college. So let's just start with, where you pretty much grew up, what high school you went to, how was your experience in your 4 years of high school?
No, I'm from Los Angeles, Southern California. I played ball at Taft High School for 3 years. I actually started out my freshman year at Buckley,
Okay.
the Buckley school, and decided to transfer over to Taft. But those three years at Taft did me wonders. Coach Taylor, he was a wonderful coach. He put the ball in my hands and he just let me rock. He let me do me. So yeah, my years of high school were great, and now I'm going to be a junior at the University of Virginia.
That's awesome, man. That's honestly, I've been doing a lot of research on you, just really diving into all your accolades, man. And I see that you've done a lot of great things. And just to be frank here, can you tell everybody what your height is, with and without shoes?
I'm 5'10", with shoes, probably 5'9" without shoes.
You know what? With that size, man, I mean, as you know, Filipinos don't grow very tall, and it's very seldomly that, you have a lot of tall Filipinos. And it's great to see you. I mean, to be at 5'9", 5'10", to play at the Division I level, I mean, it's definitely awesome. And tell us that experience. What first of all, let's kind of backtrack real quick. When did you start playing basketball? At what age? And who was a big impact player? I mean, a big impact in terms of your development.
I started playing basketball at the age of 8. I grew up playing all the sports, though. I played soccer, karate. I did karate, but then I ended up just sticking to basketball.
Right.
At 8 years old, and my dad was really the one person that I could say that really helped with my development. He inspired me. He played basketball at the Division II level at Hawaii Hilo University. So yeah, I kind of just followed in his footsteps when I was little.
That's awesome, man. And were you inspired by any like college players or NBA players during that time as you were growing?
Mike Bibby was my favorite player growing up. He was at the Sacramento Kings, and
yeah, that's a good point guard.
He was a good player back then. So he was my favorite player back then when I was growing up.
Absolutely. And during your time in high school, I know walk us through the whole process in terms of your 3 years at at Taft High School, right? Taft High School. Walk us through in terms of you going in your sophomore year, and then as you transition to your senior year, what was that recruitment process looking like?
Oh, okay. So my sophomore year, that's when I got my first offer, Cal Baptist University.
Oh, nice.
They were D2 at the time, but the next year, going into my freshman year, they were going to be D1.
Right.
So they were my first offer, and then I got a couple low majors, and then I ended up getting Xavier my sophomore year out of Vegas. But then I just continued to progress, and then I ended up committing to UC Davis early in my junior year.
Okay.
Before summer. But I decided to play my summer out. I switched teams. I started with Rockfish.
Okay.
My first 2 years, and I ended up playing for the Oakland Soldiers my last year of AAU.
Oh, wow.
To play in the EYBL.
Right.
I'm kind of just all about competition.
Absolutely.
I like to play against the best. I wanted to prove to myself. So I decided to play in the EYBL and just to show like other people and myself that I could play up there. And I ended up having a good summer. I ended up decommitting from UC Davis, and then
You won the whole thing.
yeah, we won the whole thing at Peace Jam. And then I ended up decommitting from UC Davis, and then a couple months later, I ended up committing to Virginia. When I decommitted, I had a couple visits lined up.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they got canceled to a couple schools.
Right.
But hey, everything worked out.
Now, did Virginia see you in the travel ball circuit? Is that when they saw you?
Yeah, they saw me in the travel ball circuit, Peace Jam in Vegas, but I was committed at the time.
Okay,
So they saw me, but they knew I was off the market.
got it. What do you think blew their mind, to be able to recruit you? Because obviously being at 5'9", 5'10", I mean, that's obviously when you're looking at Division One, you look at size, you look at speed, you look at basketball IQ. What really triggered them do you think, I mean, in their minds to recruit you?
I mean, just the way I play defense, being able to pick up 94 feet, and just the way I get in guys, just being able to disrupt their offense.
Right.
And then hopefully just making an open shot on the offensive end and just not turning the ball over and just keeping the offense going steady.
Man, you know what? As I was diving into more of your game films, that's one of the main things I really noticed about you is, locking up on players. And really, like you said, 94, just being up on them, on their tail and just really disturbing their comfortness, right? And I think to me that if I was a college coach, that's definitely one thing that I would definitely, see as a, player looking to what you can bring to the table at Virginia. And to me, that's great, man. I mean, you see a lot of players now these days, they try to back off so that, they don't get beat so much. But watching you, I mean, it definitely showed that you weren't afraid to lock up players, really up front. So, kudos to that, man. What was the transition like for you as far as from high school to college? Was mentally, did you feel like you were ready already, or because I noticed that you played all 38 games, right? But you started 20. So walk us through about that transition from high school to the college level.
I know going in, a lot of people were doubting me, saying he was going to be a 1 year and he was going to transfer out.
Right.
But going into my first year, I knew I just wanted to be able to contribute to the team, whether it was playing 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes. I didn't know what I was going to get.
Right.
I knew I was going to come in and try to just compete for the minutes, and to just prove to the coaching staff that I could help in any way. So I didn't really know what to expect, but ended up putting in some work, and I got an opportunity to play.
Yeah, and you hit some big shots in that Final Four, Final Four championship game, and congrats on that championship, man. I mean, I'm sure it's a great feeling to be able to capture a championship ring, at the collegiate level. Not too many people can say that, hey, I got a championship during that Division One, especially Division One. I mean, you and I both know that's a level that every player would want to play at, right? But I think you've done a great job competing and representing, for who you are, your family, and I mean, being Filipino. I mean, have you been to the Philippines?
I've been to the Philippines once.
How was that? How was that experience?
It was an incredible experience. Very humbling.
Yeah.
But it was definitely nice to go out there and kind of just get my name out there and show the people live that I could play.
Right. I know you played with Jalen Green at that time, right? MBTC,
yep.
Right?
Yeah.
How was that playing with him?
I mean, it's nice. It's always nice to have that wing that can do it all. He's a great player. So yeah, it was definitely nice playing with him.
That's awesome, man. That's truly a great, just to be able to experience that, especially you guys played at MOA, right? I mean, that's a big arena right there.
Yeah.
So, Philippines is when it comes to basketball, it's a big sport out there. So definitely, one of the things that I would love to see you hopefully play out there again and represent, the Philippine country. I have a few questions. I know we had a handful of viewers that had a couple questions. So I want to just kind of, just start, off that questions. What are your plans after college?
Play professionally.
Professionally?
Yeah, play professionally. And then once that's over, hopefully this degree that I get at Virginia will help me out in life.
What are you majoring in right now?
I've declared sociology.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I want to stick with it. I might defer something else.
Okay.
But at the moment, I'm in sociology right now.
Nice. Is the difference from high school to college? Do you feel like the educational is tougher?
Yeah, it's definitely harder. but you definitely got a lot more time on your hands, and if you manage your time well, I think it's easy to manage. I think.
Awesome. What do you do to get the ball on a string, and do you have a ball handling routine?
When I was little, I definitely worked on my ball handling a lot. My dad and I worked out with a guy named Tank, and his son is Derek Thornton. He was at Boston College last year.
Okay.
He was at USC. I grew up playing with him and just working out with him, and his dad really just got our ball handling skills, got them right. 2-ball dribbling. It's the same drills that everybody does. It's just the repetitions that you got to put in.
Absolutely.
Put into it.
Yeah, repetition is the key. I think, Kobe said it best. The more you do it, the more it becomes second nature, right?
Right, exactly.
Any tips to get better on defense?
Don't get discouraged. It's all heart, but you got to be in shape. I'll tell you that. Just to be able to stay in guys and be relentless. You get scored on once, you just got to get back into them. So just be relentless and don't give up. Just always be there.
Nice. And talking about staying in shape, what are you doing right now to stay in shape?
Yeah, it was definitely hard in the beginning, just not knowing what I could do. Luckily, I had access to a gym, so I was able to get my workouts in. They had full everything, basketball court, weight room, and now there's a couple runs out here. I don't know if it's super safe, but yeah, there's definitely runs out here with some college and some pro guys. So being able to get up and down the court is helping.
Absolutely. What's something that all coaches look at as a small point guard?
Being able to take care of the ball and play defense. You can't turn the ball over, and if your man is scoring on you, that they can always sub you out if you don't want to play defense. So,
yeah, you know what? I think as a point guard, that's definitely true. Taking care of the basketball, being able to deliver, finding the open man, and just being that leader on the court. And I think you've really, are a great example of that. Especially when you've been playing for Virginia, watching you on the big stage for these past 2 years. What do you think? I know this whole quarantine kind of stopped the whole season, towards the beginning of March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like you guys could have won a back-to-back?
It's hard to tell. Nobody will know, but I think we were on a roll, and I think we could have strung together some games. 6 games, when you look at it like that, I don't see us losing.
Right.
I thought we were hitting a good stride.
You guys are peaking.
But hey, it sucks, but nobody will know.
Nice. What's your regiment like before a game? Like what do you normally do? Do you listen to music? What's something that you typically do before game time?
Yeah, definitely listening to music. I usually get to the gym like 2-3 hours before, get stretched out, get taped, and then I usually go through a little shooting workout, a little warm up before the game. But that's about it. But music usually gets me going.
Nice. Do you still get butterflies when you jump into that court and play in front of a big stage?
No, not since the first home game at Virginia. I had a little butterflies for the first couple minutes, but once I got in and got my first bucket, I haven't had butterflies since.
Right. That's awesome, man. Another question: do you eat Filipino food?
Yes.
And what's your favorite Filipino food?
Favorite Filipino food? I want to say just chicken adobo. But when I went out there, what is it? It's like crispy pork or something like that.
Oh, like crispy pata?
Yeah. That was fire when I went out there. That's probably my favorite. That sinigang, I love everything.
Can you speak the language at all? Do you understand it?
Nah. I know a couple words, but that's about it.
Okay, nice. Do you ever see yourself playing for the Philippine country?
Man, I wish if I could, I will. I don't know the rules and how that's going about, but if I ever get the opportunity, I would never turn it down.
That's awesome. You know what? I'm gonna push for it, man. You know, that's what Fil-am Nation is all about, is trying to get the word in to these organizations like Gilas.
Right.
So I know we are in contact with them in regards to finding, obviously, some younger generation grassroots type players. Mm-hmm. But if I could see you in a Gilas uniform, I think we can do some damages. You know, I mean, Jimmy Alapag. You know, Jimmy was what, 5'10", great leader on the court. You know, he did a great job. I know my cousin Alex Cabagnat, who's in the PBA right now, is 15 years. He's also a co-founder of the Fil-am Nation organization. But players like yourself, man, I mean, I think when you have a good point guard on the court, you know, that definitely, you know, can tell really how well your team is going to do. If you have a good point guard and a good big man, you know.
Yep.
And I think the rest will definitely play its part. But let's retract back as far as just the whole mindset of, you know, when you get into a game. I know you have a pretty much norms in terms of your regiment. What's the feeling like when playing in front of a big crowd? Especially like, you know, when you notice that, hey, you know what, you're the smallest guy on the court. What's that feeling like, you know, just being in that atmosphere?
I mean, ever since you're little, ever since like the big tournament games from AAU when it's the top two teams in the championship and everybody's surrounded by one court, those are the days. So it just kind of progresses, and it's just a little bit more people every time. The stage gets a little bit bigger, but your job stays the same. So it really feels nice when you're playing in front of a big crowd. So you just got to prepare well and just go out there and do your best. Absolutely.
Now, if you were to play for an NBA team, which team would that be? That's one of my questions that someone had here.
I'm a Laker fan, but I think I picked the Clippers.
Clippers? Are you a Clipper fan too, or?
Nah, I'm a Laker fan.
A Laker fan?
Yeah, I'm a Laker fan.
Yeah, I know there was quite a few players that came out of Taft High School, right? That played in the NBA.
Yep. Jordan Farmar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the first one. Spencer Dinwiddie. With the Brooklyn
that's right.
Nets.
Yeah. Now, based on your class, did you have any other players when you graduated out of Taft go on to college, or were you the only one?
No, I was the only one. A person before me, Brandon Thomas, he went to Hawaii. And
okay.
Then, while I was there, Makani Whiteside, he's at UTEP right now. He was the first year last year, so
okay.
He was there too.
Awesome, man. I know one of the biggest questions that a lot of people have been asking. Everybody knows you're Filipino, but what's the other half of you?
My dad is Chinese and black.
Chinese and black. Okay, good. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Hey, you know what I could say is, you know, your parents have done a great job raising you. You know, you're one of the few people that has messaged us back, you know, when we post you, and you're always appreciative, and you know, that goes a long way, man. And you know, we thank you for you know, being active. But I do got to ask this question, man. I noticed that you're playing video games. What is that? What game is? I'm not a video game guy, but
it's Call of Duty Warzone.
Call of Duty Warzone. For all you Call of Duty Warzone, look them up, because I know people can play against you, right, from all over the world.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And how often do you play? I mean, do you play every day? Do you spend a couple hours?
I play every day. I'm in class. Right now, so I got summer school.
Okay.
But after class and a workout, I'm on the game. I mean, it's quarantine, so it's not really much you can do right now. So
yeah, because I noticed during your basketball days, like, you know, your first 2 years, you didn't really post very much.
No, I didn't play it. I don't play at all when I'm back at school. So I'm back home right now, so that's what I'm on.
Hey, you know what? This is a great time for you to enjoy, almost kind of like a 3-month, 4-month vacation, because I know you're going back pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I leave the 12th.
And that's I mean, right away you're gonna obviously get started. And my biggest question for you here is what does that look like when you go back as far as conditioning and getting workout? Is that 2 times a day for you, 3 times a day? What is that like? Few hours?
I mean, besides NCAA regulations, we usually do basketball Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we condition Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay.
But we're lifting every day throughout the summer, and then when you work out separately from the team, those are just extra hours you put in.
That's awesome. And how are you in terms of food wise? I mean, do you eat pretty healthy, or do you just eat what you want? Or
I mean, I'm on the weight gain program, so
okay.
I kind of eat what I want.
Right.
Try to eat a little healthier.
That's good.
But
now, do you get to eat Filipino food out there?
There's a Filipino truck called Manila, Little Manila.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they show love all the time.
That's good, man.
That's one place I can get Filipino food.
Hey, I'm pretty sure they're pretty happy to know that we got a Filipino athlete on Virginia's big stage there.
Yep. And there's a Filipino club, actually. They do food there, and they have little events, too. So that's another way I can get connected with the culture.
That's awesome, man. That's great. And last thing, I know I want to dive into the academic side just because we have a lot of young viewers and, that are following you. And I'm sure, just to kind of be inspired by you, what's education like for you as far as your GPA? Are you taking a full load? And talk about just the importance of making sure, going into from high school to college, how important that is.
No, it's definitely very important to keep your grades up throughout everything. I know all the moms out there, they really stress education.
Yeah.
But no, just keeping your grades up. I mean, I know a lot of college coaches, they don't like guys that they're going to have to baby and worry about in the classroom. To just be ineligible and not be able to play, I think that's the worst thing possible. But education is really important.
Absolutely. And Kihei, man, I congratulations, by the way, for being picked as a 2020 Division I Men's College Basketball Player of the Year for Fil-am Nation. I mean, that's obviously well-deserved. I mean, I know there's a lot of players out there like Remy Martin, Jared Lucas, that are all playing Division I, Tim Harrison. There's quite a handful of you out there. That's really nice to see, because now that we are actually exposing that, people are now seeing that, wow, there's actually Filipino athletes playing on the big stage.
It's a ton of us. It's a lot of us, and it's a lot of good players at a lot of high majors.
Yeah, and I know you're pretty well connected with Remy, right?
Yeah, that's one of my best friends from childhood.
That's awesome. Yeah, I went to go see him one of his game against USC. So definitely a true ball player. Hopefully we can get him on this IG Live and introduce him to the Filipino community. But, again, man, thank you again for today. I know you got a pretty tight schedule. Thanks for your time. I'm pretty sure people out there watching are pretty excited to know that you're Filipino and that, you play for the University of Virginia. So for all you folks out there, make sure you follow Kihei. Make sure you watch and just represent, because he's definitely representing out there. And Kihei, man, like I told your mom, as soon as all the different apparel comes out, we'll definitely send them out. One of the things I wanted to show you here, which I'll probably get it out to you, are these Fil-am Nation socks.
I seen those. Those are dope. Those are dope.
So we'll get this out to you. We'll get a couple pairs, but definitely thank you for representing. I'll be following you. We're here to support you throughout your next 2 years. And hopefully, we're going to pray that, you make it to the big stage in the NBA, and whether it be the Clippers or the Lakers, hey, we're here to root for you, man.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. And just thank you for having me on this live and just being able to talk to everybody.
And hopefully, yesterday I spoke to a Division I women's side, Kayla Padilla. Mm-hmm. She's at UPenn. And if it's okay with you, I'll probably message you about maybe just going live once in a while, after your games, just
yes.
talking about your games,
That's cool. Sounds good.
Keep the viewers letting people know that, hey, you're proud to be Filipino.
Yes, sir. No,
All right, my man.
I'm definitely proud.
Hey, I really appreciate your time, and I thank your mom for connecting us. And again, we'll hopefully meet soon.
Yep, for sure.
All right.
Yep.
Kihei, thank you again for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thanks, Coach Chris.
All right, have a good one.
Yep, you too.
Bye now.
Peace.